Okay, there, pop it in there. We'll give this a minute or two. And just one off in a live shot for something to do. Hope everybody's having a decent night. Thank you for tuning in, hanging around while I kind of do some stuff. Which is going to be playing with this build. Yeah, I think these ones should work out pretty good. As you can see, I've got a few different things here. And I'm going to start out doing a couple of these links. I needed more rod ends, or I'm sorry, set screws, long set screws to do links with. And they finally came in. So joking out there. It's been a good. Let's go ahead and these are SSD links from the SSD Trail King. The kit build. I took one of the Trail Kings, in there, and turned it into a leafer, and didn't have to use these links. These are titanium links out of the SSD kit. So I figured, well, these will probably work for what I want to do. I thought about doing this as a leaf spring. I got a set of super scale leaves, but leaf would be such a hard thing to make a nice functioning unit out of. Alright, so one of these, I'm gonna need my big eyes. Put that out. I'll fix this. Move that there. Let's see, that's there. So go ahead and seal this bag up. Pop 4 of these puppies out. Those are M4s. These are M3s. There's still another piece in there. All right. These are 3x16s. I do have that. Look at that. Fit. A little big. So anyways, yeah. Shut my door. So got that cranked right up. All right, so let's take a look here. So That one's like they're all the same, so it really don't matter which end this goes on. Okay. So yeah, I'm doing a little link building here. You can see I've got a axle, and that's actually an SSD axle out of the Trail King. I bought, that's not out of my kit. I bought all the stuff to build it, and it will be getting some modifications on it. There's a few things I'm going to do to modify it a little bit from where it's at. And those are plastic tubes. I have metals for it, and that's where I need to do my modification. First with the metal tubes. Once I get that done, then I'll have to modify the axles. Once I get that done, I'll be able to reinstall it. I'm just going to install it as is for right now for shits and giggles and make it work. So let's see. If we got these on this end, because I got an option of ends here that I can use. So I think I'll run those in, which, well, that's got a bigger end on it. Oh, I did grab the wrong end. All right. Let me see. I want to keep the right end on this. All right. That's the way you want to do it. That's fine. So I'll use, maybe I can't use you that way. Because, that's okay. I'll still use one more. I got plenty of these ones for now. Grab the wrong end. I should have grabbed this one, I believe. Yep. That's the match. So, we'll allow you in hell. It's too big. Okay, so we'll get these things in place. Have to put on the buys. Eyes are just not what they were a decade ago. There we go. I can see clearly now. The fuzz is gone. I can see clearly now. Obstacles are in my way. Those are probably going to be too long. Longer than they need to be. some of the shorter ones anyway. And let this baby on. Number one. I'm not sure how long I really need these to be. The difference in the ends here is, yeah, that does look a little thicker. I guess really not too much though. Although if I had to guess, it's about what I've got this way though. Yeah, look about the same. I don't think there's any difference in them really. You in there. All right. I think those will probably work just fine. Get this one a little more tight. It's close, but not quite. There we go. Those can go in with these because there's only two left. Okay, some screws in there too. I gotta do this kind of measure things up here. I do backwards. That's okay. Set you there. We'll set you here. Junk and empty. Out anyway, basically. Give you a spin. I suppose I could. I probably should, but actually that should work out. So let's see where we at. I'm just going to pick up through the middle. Most of that will probably be gone. So if that's about there, somewhere in that area. So I got one more of them in there. Now, let's see. Do set you aside. few minutes. Okay, so back to this little spot here. I've been looking at this where I want to trim this out and how I want to lock it into place. It's got to still come back a little more to be lined up. So I think that'll probably work. Let's get that back to that spot. It's going to be good. It's actually, it is close. If I can get it there, cut it that way. Backwards and upside down right now. I think if I can get that there, that gives me all the turning area I need. So I can lock those into that through there. And then from that spot, so if I cut this thing, I can cut this up in here and that come on the inside, tuck all in. This can all go away right behind that. I can lock those in that way. And get it down a little farther because that will come up a little more. All right, I think I can do that. So basically what I'm looking at doing is I've got these bolts in the chassis hole here. I think I can thread those right into this part, use some spacer in there so I can cut this right back here on both sides on that. That allows it up. That gives me enough room to get the steering up and in place so it will work for the piece. It'll all be hid, be a little bit of mush. I've got a second. That does push that forward. I could always redo that and trim that nose up a little bit if I have to. I've got a metal shock tower coming to strengthen that up. Actually, that still would work. I can put a bar across it and all the way across the front. If I need to pull that back a little farther. Because I want to try to get the A-arm flat. So I got pretty much a zero. With that pushing, it's giving it 2 or 3 degrees and it's not quite even. Alright, so if I set those up there, pretty much, yeah, I'm going to grab the arms. I got it right here. I'll slide this side in. Because they sweep back a little bit. And I want to make sure they're at least lined up pretty close to right. Okay. So that's what back. Flatten it out so I bring it up a little bit. Just so it's close. And now this Come in to about, I'll put that back right there. That's about 13 and a half. And that's a little shorter than, and that's about 13 and a half right there. So, let me see which piece, that's the back, as I looked at it. So, let me go ahead and pop that puppy out. And that's right, I gotta work these out. The little retainers right now. So just a little screw to hold everything kind of tucked together for the moment. So that's there. Those will connect about there on the bottom side. Yep, those short ones will do. That, yeah, that gives me my spot right there, right there. So, what do these short ones give me? Oh yeah, that's got it. So where's my other shorty here? I don't think I'll need an angled one. Let me take a look. Should I have an angled one in there? Pick it up a little bit if I lifted it up. Nah, I'll go with these other ones. I already got them kind of threaded. As long as I can get them in that right thread spot, which we can play with that a little bit. So, I guess it really don't matter on this as long as they're kind of the same. Okay, that in. Nice and tight and lined up. Now, I've got this bag of screws here that they sent. And look, they're Allen's cheapy little center plate for the TRX. These are Traxxas TRX chassis rails. I decided to go with those because they were heavier duty and a little beefier. The Red Cat was the other option. They were also about as beefy. But I figured I'd go ahead and stick with the Traxxas pieces here. Alright, let's spin this one more time. I should, but I'm going to do it anyways. Really snug. That thing spun around too. even on each side. Now, accordingly, this goes in here. That's kind of hold it apart just a smidge. Slip that in there. This slips through. This slips through. Slide those up. Obviously. Oh, I might have found our first hiccup. Yep, I need to put thinner balls in. Those walls are a little wide. So let me see. There's my other little bags here. I got a couple of different balls around. But I think I have something thin enough that I can pop in and out real quick. What were these ones? These are just that's right. Yeah, just a couple up here too, don't I? What's the shoe? No, just those shoes. You already clean them up. Okay, so I got those on the outside. So let's pop these balls out. Okay, it's like I've had enough. You're making too much damn noise. Too. Could be a problem with getting the cheaper piece. Ball's not fitting right. Okay, let's see. And grind a couple sets down a little bit. So close right there. Not quite close enough. I don't know if any of these are any different. They are thinner than these, but not by much. Two, kind of, maybe thinner. Sometimes this is the fun of working with different manufacturers' stuff. Kind of nice anodizing coat. I could have thickened it up a tad, but yeah, I think those ones I can make fit a lot better. So that way. Slip on in there. Come on now. A little snug, but I can fix that. Move snot on it. around all the way too. That's a little better. Those balls are kind of snug in there. I still may end up taking those ones and thinning them down a smidge. Maybe the better thing to do. Let's see. That one goes in better. So if that one goes in better, then these ones are different. Pop you back out. Move you over here. I guess I had a few of the small M3s yet. Now that I'm looking at them, take a look at that one. It's got two small ends. Like that one. Yeah, that looks like the same end. I think those are the ends I took out. A little different. Not much, but a little. These are, I think, are Traxxas ends. Yeah, that smooth that out a smidge. Let's see how they fit in here. They should go in a little better than those ones wanted to, or at least close. Be a little easier to shave down if I can't make them fit. Damn, they should go. I might have to just file down the one side a little bit. Yep. Okay. Good. Now that my little cat's up and out of my chair, I'm sitting something a little bit more comfortable. Now, let's see this. Let's see if we can take just a little bit off the insides of these. Let's see how that one fits. Yeah. Bastards. One. Oh. Same width, though, basically. Not quite. So close. Not quite. Let's see. So close. Let me take the actual file here and give it some slaps with that. Clean this up a smidge, flatten it out a little bit more. Let's see, does it go in there now? Yes, it's gonna go in there now. Okay, do the same thing with this one. I'm going to just hit with the file here a little bit. Don't think that's going to be enough yet, but we'll try. Not quite. Close, but not quite. Take off a little more. Different links here. Yeah. Long. There it is. There's the long one. All right. Slide this one in. No, not using any Loctite or anything right now. First assembly, test fit everything, obviously. Don't want any Loctite and anything mucking up the mix. Not yet. Okay. And pull it out. Story of my life. Pull it out too. Too tight. So go ahead and grab these bitches up. Don't need them here underneath, mucking everything up, getting in the way. Let's go ahead and slide all those in here. So all my ends are together. We'll take these ones. Okay, toss that there for the moment. Toss that there for the moment. Those down for the moment. Open there. Show these. Can go on this one. And have it around. There. Let's put you here for the moment. You're gonna go up there for the moment. See these 4 screws. Those are just extras, so they can go up there with that one. Screws can go in there. Those two. And those two. There we go. Let's see. Let's fit there. Oh, too big for that. RC four-wheel drives. Smooth. Those are bent. I want bent, I want straights. So put a couple straights on here. See how we come up. Must be my chaperone watching here, because said nothing, done nothing, no likes, no dislikes. Are you my little Google chaperone, you little commie bitch? Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh no. Still there, maybe not. Come on. Do this. Tighten that up a little more. So base hands in place. So how long is that to other spot? You know what? I did put those in the wrong place, didn't I? There. Okay. I did. Those are where the uppers go, so let me go ahead and do that. Right here, probably knock that off. And that one actually goes here. Well, kind of painting it through there. Sure, it's fine. Long ass screw. Way too long. I don't need to do that one. And the other shorties will do just fine. Zero. And see those tensions. Yeah, those ones ain't long enough now. Well, maybe. Because they are going to go through there a little bit. Let me try. Let me try one. Go through the quite. These are shorter than those. I can see it. Foot right in. Alright. Hey, somebody else just popped in there. How you doing? Just doing a slap together build of some many different things. Come on out, says me. Little dog. Throwing together what I call what incarnation. A scale build, obviously. I'm using some parts here. SSD chassis, where'd that go? Down here somewhere. Our SSD axle Traxxas TRX chassis, and haven't really said, but what it's essentially going to be is a no prep drag car. Not quite in what you would expect in your no prep tradition, or what most of them are, but it'll have some bandit items on it, but it won't be short course truck based. It's going to be a mishmash of different parts. So that's, now I'm just trying to half working blind here. Here it is. Alright. I'm not sure how long my links need to be or anything like that, so I gotta kind of measure and check it out and figure it out. Okay, so that's there, that's there. Let me go ahead and grab, actually, I probably should find one of my other long screws. Maybe try to go through all three of these. Let me go ahead and thread this other one on. How are those things fitting in there? They aren't. They're going to need to be filed a smidge to get in there. Okay, so it is what it is. But yeah, I went with the Traxxas chassis rails because they're more heavy duty than, say, the Chinese knockoffs or Axial or even the SSD. The only ones that might be as heavy duty or maybe even a little more is the Red Cat. But I went ahead and grabbed the Traxxas stuff that was a little bit more compatible with a bunch of aftermarket things that always likely going to end up having to use. Alright, I don't like doing this with these scissors. I got shock pliers on the way, which would help with this. Oh, really crank on that. To sand those down just a bit to make them fit. I should say file them down. Basically going to be a mid motor. What I'm going to end up doing is putting a tranny here in the what would typically be your motor tranny plate for your Traxxas or your typical crawler, 4x4 type stuff. It is going to be what would consider typically be a four-wheel drive tranny, but the front's just going to be running open. Now, being that it won't be on a short course, quote-unquote short course chassis, it won't quite probably be what you would consider your typical no prep legal outlaw or unlimited or run what you run open class. That's probably where this would end up going. If I try to race it at all, I'm mostly kind of building it. I got a little plan for the rear end to do some modifications and make it a little bit more drag spec type of axle and rear end on it. If you understand drag axles, you probably know where I'm going with that. Don't take much, but it's going to take a little bit more than that. The funds of actual modifications and the noise. I've got a few other rigs already. I've built 3 different Traxxas based no prep rigs. 2 aftermarket chassis setups and 1 with a low center of gravity chassis. That's going to be my 13.5 running rig. Let's see if I can take out the rest of this. A little quieter anyway, at least a little bit. The file actually took off more faster. It does, and not enough. Probably could mute the mic when I'm doing that, but I love it so much. That works just enough to get in there. That's all I need. snug as a bug, or as we used to say, tight is right. Good. There it is. There she went. That's snug on that ball. So I'll hit her with some moo and thin her out a tad. I'm going to take a little bit on that one. Take a little more, most likely. I hit this thing 2 or 3 times here. Last one did it. Should be close there. Yes. Just a little bit more. Actually, I'll take that off with this, I think. This went in there a second ago and I took more off you, so I know you'll go. Alright, go ahead and just 1 or 2 more times. Beautiful. Now, what I need to do, lock those together real quick. Now, I think this is where the bendies will come in handy. Already used on something. Used on our note M4. Close, but not quite enough. Some close, but not quite enough. Okay, another ball set. Try two of these. Find a couple that are a little thinner, and we'll go in there better. Let's try those two. They look a little thinner. The other ones didn't quite make it. Okay. Try a couple of those. That one looks good. Okay, we'll give those ones a shot because they look a little bit better. Okay. Ready? Well, I need to get in there correctly. Just like his little brother just did there. He did. Okay, now I use this and straighten it up. Okay, you can come back over here. And now I need to find these slightly longer screws that I've got. That one, not that one, that one. I think one of these are long enough. Yeah, but what might be, check this one out. Yeah, those aren't going to be long enough either. Not to get all the way through, is it? Nope. Okay, what's that one? Perfect. Your dog. Okay. Okay. Little pain in the butt right here. Got this in the first place. There we go. Yeah, that's my 13.5 build. Thank you. Pretty straightforward, low center of gravity slash chassis, and a bunch of drag race concept parts. Backyard RC ceramic bearings. It should be quite a competitor with as low resistance as the entire drivetrain is with that DRC tranny and the bearings, the ceramics. I gotta get some new ends in. Those backyards are actually kind of pretty nice. I wasn't sure what to expect, and Justin did a good job. He picked up some really pretty nice bearings to sell. They're an ABEX 7, so they kick off pretty good. All right. Well, that makes that a little bit better. So I won't be using the front. No trailing arm set up in front, so I could use a couple of these smaller 10 millimeters. I think I got a couple dark ones in there. Not stainless. Let's see, I don't need these anymore. That one and that one. It should be long enough to get in there and lock this baby in place. Loosen that one up a smidge. And this one up a smidge. Finish this one up. Yeah, that's a little better if you shoot a little snuggy there. This one in, get this thing all locked up into place. That's gonna, I think, work out really decently for the most part. What I'm looking to do. Yeah, most of it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you've been building tracks, but you doing a LCG rig, or are you looking at some of the aftermarket chassis or something? I ended up going with one of my rigs is a Chuckworks RC Redshift, which is a mid motor setup only, and then I went with the Tarp OMV 6001 Traxxas based rig, which can be mid motor or rear motor. So that's kind of nice about that one, is it can go either way. All right, that's good. That's snug and tight. Now, that's pretty decent. Now for shocks and shock towers, I got my SSD stuff I can pull out. But before I go there, I want to move back to the front end now. Because now I really need to cut this thing down. Let's see, these can all go up there because I don't need shock ends anymore. I shouldn't for now. Let's see. Oh, come on out of there. Alright, now, the way I had this on before, I don't think it's going to set down there the same way now. Not hardly, no, not at all. Not at all with all that in there. So, I need to lose some here. Drag Race Concepts does mid motor. Of course, you can take your low CG chassis and turn it into a mid motor. Basically, you got to cut this part right here out of the chassis. It's low CG chassis. And then turn around and you can. I've seen guys do it and use links for supports to lock it all in. But yeah, Drag Race Concepts, Tarp, the Chuckworks RC. I think the Bullet guy, the guy who did the Bullet, Mark Vine, I believe he is doing a Traxxas based setup. There's the trying to think, name starts with the knees, not Exotech. The another company out there that does it. They're all doing a low CG chassis that should be able to go mid motor. Tarp, I think, and Chuckworks were the first two. Besides Drag Race Concepts, they're Slash Pack. But if I'm not mistaken, the Slash Pack may have very well been first round rear motor only. I wasn't into it. Extreme, yes, that's the one. Thanks. Extreme's the other one. A-Main sells those as well. Then there's well, 5.7's their own thing actually. Yeah, I've seen on Facebook, if you're over there, a lot of people are 4 or 5 different people probably in the last 2 or 3 months popping up with Slash Traxxas based low CG mid motor combo chassis. One of the reasons I like the Tarp, RCRI, that was one of the other ones. They were really hard to get a hold of and find any info on shipping and when, because they were pretty much made to order. You got really a backlog going on, and I still see people still waiting. So, but I hear his rigs are top notch. You're just gonna wait a little while for it. I'm an impatient type. If I can't, find something usable, I'll make it. So, like here is the Chuckworks, and as you can see, it's mid motor setup. This is only mid motor. Yeah, I like the Tarp. Prices aren't too bad either. The stage 1 Traxxas base, I think 125. So this is the Chuckworks, which obviously it's a composite chassis. It's not actually it's carbon fiber. It's his own composite chassis. It's very stiff. He's got a couple, top rails here in the build. Some composite. He makes his own composite mold and stuff. And does his own thing. He's pretty well known if you do like late model or late modified or dirt oval and run a Traxxas based rig. Chuck Works is one of the well-known names in that scene. So, like I said, this is the one mid motor. This is the red shift. You've seen the LCG that you said you looked at, and then of course here's the tarp. Tarp you can build as mid or rear motor. I did build this as a mid, and if I didn't like it was having problems, just got to swap some rear motor setup. But now that I've got a mid motor tranny, I'd also have to swap the tranny plate. I just started I've been RCing for a long time. Got my first RC as a young kid, young teen, 12, 13, something like that. Was in it for a few years. Started playing bass and chasing girls, so that took care of the RC. And I got into it again when I got a little bit older after my kid was born, and got out of it for a few more years, and then got back into it. Got out. Now I just got back into it again. About this time last year, is this thing myself. Yeah, it's drag. I bought a used LCG kit last fall from a local guy. Got a few runs on it and test runs on it, and out in front of my house, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna dig on this. I'm a technical guy. I like the tweaking and finicking and a little bit of adjustment to try to I gearhead at heart. So let's see. I'm gonna need to cut that there. So what I'm using for a tranny on this won't be in, looks like, for 3 or 4 days now, is going to be an SSD tranny for the Wraith, which they have a high ratio tranny, which is 1.8, 3 to 1. So for every revolution of motor, you get 1.83 revolutions of motor. You get 1 revolution of the tranny, and I think that driving, I got the high diff ratio locked SSD rear end, and that gives me what is it? 11 and 27, so that's like 2.86 gear ratio. So the final drive ratio coming out of the motor will be like 4.5 to 1, under 6 to 1. So this thing should actually haul ass. All right, so if I cut that there, then I can do what I did earlier, looking at mounting a bar across here in front there, and then locking it in on the bulkhead. And then I've got a metal front shock tower coming, and I'm going to run it with 0 degrees, so it's going to be mounted flat. So I think that'll work out. I think if I cut this baby right down here, this is my donor rig for my which actually ended up being mostly on my red shift. Most of this went to the red shift and then come off the red shift and went to the LCG chassis, and then will come off the LCG chassis, and now it's coming over to this one. Some of it, not most of it. Links and things like that. I put titanium links on all the other rigs, lighten, lose some of that weight. Later on diet. And I'm waiting for my last couple bodies here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut that there. I think the easiest and fastest and quickest, most efficient way is just with this hacksaw blade. So I need to cut that puppy up. should just go grab my handy little tack saw. Make life a lot easier, I think. Try to put a little back pressure on the bottom of that blade all tight. Okay. I should grab my vice cap in here too. Haven't found it yet though. There we go. That'll work. Need some support to do some cutting. What my blind eyes see. Okay. Okay, that should work out for what I need. Clean up the edges here. Okay. edge here a little bit. That should do pretty good. Now, I've measured everything out right. This section should be able to come in here, come up this way, and slip it in place. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and tuck those in. Yeah, let's see. I had it with the whole chassis. I had it like this. I think that's I did that. Those I could probably trim in to fit inside. Get nice and tight. We're almost there now. So let me try that. Is this off? Another one burn up. Yep, burn up. Just like I did back in playing bass. See if that does any better in there. Come on, get up on in there. Get up on in there. That's gonna come back to it straight. I have to do it like I had her set up the first time, but I'll be able to bring her back a little bit, I think. Let's see. I think I had her back that far before. Had her in there. So let me see how I can do her there. It's actually still pushing right there. Let's take a peek. What time is it? Anyways, I'm doing about an hour and a half. It's almost midnight. Yeah, I'll go another 10 or 15 minutes here. Just try to get this thing placed in. Yeah, I can do one other thing here instead of piss with this and jump on this when I get back into it tomorrow. I got a bunch of stuff going on unless it's raining. Then I got other things I'm going to try to get done. So let's see. We put this thing in there. Bolt the nuts kind of lock her down. I have to get rid of these things too. And just go with the insides. Well, if I can get it to work like that, that's how I'd like to have it. Let me put this slippery ass glass thing out the way. Sidewalk here. Because those will come up high enough to get in there. And that come up good enough to hold her in place. I can get that thing right in there. If I get that locked in there, I can always trim off just a smidge of this front. Okay, so I think I know how I can do that. See, I can trim off a smidge of this front spot here, allow it to move forward a little bit. Trim these down here a tad, just to get them up there. Drill a hole through here and a long bolt with a spacer through there, right into the bottom of this spot. So I'll drill a mount hole here, and that'll mount the back side, and the front will be mounted to the bulkhead. I think that will work. I gotta trim that bulkhead some more, so I think we'll call it good on this concept for now. I'll put this back over here out the way. With these two, now I got the tray. I could use the tray somehow, mount battery, but I got other things to play with. But yeah, that SSD high ratio tranny should work good. And I picked up this SSD scale steel long drive shaft for TRX4 or an SCX102, either one. A little bit of rotational mass, but I'm going for more scale than anything, but I think it will actually end up being performing pretty good. I've got ceramic bearings to end up putting into the thing. Boy, this thing is greasy, but at least you know it ain't gonna rust. Install this and check out, see where our tranny's got to kind of set. But yeah, I haven't really had too many runs myself, Jermaine, other than just like kind of out in front of my house. And then twice last year I went over to where the local guys were hooking up in the city next to me over in Bay City. And where they were running and kind of hung out and BS with guys and gals and a couple gals, wives to guys. I mean, no gal. Well, actually, I think we do have one girl that's going to be running this year with us. So, all right. That should be pretty good. And yeah, I'll run that way. We'll get ourselves in phase. There we go. Always want to be in phase if you can. Peel you out of there. Pry you off here. This thing goes on pretty tight, surprisingly enough. I'm gonna get this done and I'm gonna roll up after dinner mint. Come on. Sucker snaps on there pretty darn good. Okay, that's gotta come off there. Got a space around here, so I may end up using a couple of small shims. So I want to make sure that thing stays pulled out as far as I can. Oh, I think that's going to work out fine. You in there. Pick you up from down here. Use that damn thing if I have to. Come on, baby. Get in there. You came out, you can go back in. Ooh, that's tight. That's good enough. Yeah. I was hoping my measurements in my brain were correct. I just kind of eyed this stuff up and took kind of measurements and seeing where it fell out at. So, beautiful. That's going to work out just dandy. Although I might have to. Looks up pretty good. I have to take that clearance, that bearing seat just a little bit. Actually, I'll just shave down the outside of that. All right, I think that's where I'm going to end for the night. You can kind of see where it's headed here. Get some little shock towers from my SSD kit in place, and then of course when the bottom piece is on, the top piece will go in there, and I'll get steering out of this spot. Tranny will set, here somewhere, and this will probably set pretty close to being all the way in, but not quite, to about here. So I should be able to make that work. Get it all tweaked in place. Locked in, motor, tranny, drivetrain, steering with level front end. Yeah, I think I might have to do that though. Go ahead and do that right now. Finish that up. That's just a little too snug going through there. I push a little too much pressure on that bearing. And when I go to ceramics, it will put too much pressure on that one. So what I'm going to do, just shave off a little bit of this on the end here. Yeah, good more. Let's see. There's one. Let's see if we can get that in there without really having to bite so damn hard to get the. Oh, that looks like it lines up better. And without the pressure. Oh yeah, it goes in a lot better. And seats. And no binding, less binding. That's all it took, just that little bit of clearancing. And that is the fun of throwing multiple pieces together to drag race. Okay. I think that's I'm gonna call her the night. She's about midnight right straight up. So I'll call that the night and go from there. So thanks for hanging out. Good talking to you, Jermaine. Catch my other videos. Hit that like, share, subscribe. I see you already hit like, or somebody did. Appreciate that. I'm just trying to grow the channel and have fun. I buy everything I get. I don't get stuff given to me. So this is all me and all my stuff. Just trying to have fun and enjoy life and not end up wanting to strangle people, because that's easy to do. So all right, man. You guys have a good night. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out.